How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are back to our regularly scheduled program. I'm doing a little bit more fun videos instead of serious, but don't worry. I'd still take it as serious as possible. I just like to have a little bit of fun. Today we are looking at the 2020s and seeing how the first round draft picks for the Vancouver Canucks are doing. And it's not just the three that they made, because trust me, this would just be talking about our top prospects. I'm going to talk about the three that we traded away as well, and to see, did we benefit from the trades and did we not benefit from the trades? And then there's two-ish. I'd say one really, like one definite we profited and did good from the trade. Then there's another one where it's like, nah, maybe, depends. And then there, not really, yeah, not really. And then there's one that's like, oh hell no. We will start off, we're going to go in order of 2020 to 2025. So Coots will be last. But the first one is actually a trade. So I'll pull that up right here. The Tampa Bay Lightning traded JT Miller to us. In exchange, we gave up a 2019 third round pick that became Hugo Allenfright, Marek Mazanik, which I remember him. It was that's such a weird pull. I think we signed him for 2 seasons, like that off season, and then we traded him in this deal. And I was like, okay, we got JT Miller, but I don't know why Mazanik was in this deal at all. It was kind of confusing to me. They ended up drafting a goalie too, so it also was like, well, okay, they got 2 goalies out of it. And the 2020 first round pick. Now, Tampa did not end up using this first round pick. They ended up sending it over to the New Jersey Devils in exchange for Blake Coleman. And they also threw Nolan Foote there. Now, if my memory serves me right, we should not talk about Nolan Foote at the moment. But then New Jersey would actually use this pick. They would actually make the deal, and now this is not clicking off. There we go. And they would draft, I'll put the player sheet up now, Shakir Mukhamadullin, a 23-year-old defenseman who's 6'4", 179 pounds. Now that's currently at the moment. The reason I did a player sheet for Mukhamadullin, I'll do it for one other player, is because they've already played in the NHL. The rest, other than Lekkerimaki, Lekkerimaki, it was 20 games, so I guess, but I don't think he's met my total limit of whether he's played enough games in the NHL, so I still kind of consider him a prospect. Shakir Mukhamadullin, in his first season with the San Jose Sharks, he had 3 games played, 1 goal, 1 assist, and then in the second season he had 30 games played, 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points, which is pretty good for a 23-year-old defenseman. He's got a really good strong shot from the point. He's also got good puck handling, and he's really good at getting into the corners and getting that puck out of danger. He's only making $1 million on the cap, but he is his contract does expire at the end of the season, and I really like this in terms of like a younger defenseman. Definitely a good pick, but JT Miller, right? I understand JT Miller's gone now, so now we have Phil Petal, Marcus Pettersson, Drew O'Connor, Victor Mancini, and that's about it. There's no like 4th round, I forget, but that's about it for that. But that's still really good. We still got one of our good defensemen, so that's a replacement for Shakir Mukhamadullin right now. We got Drew O'Connor, who's a good depth forward. We got Phil Petal, who could end up becoming a 2C, but he looks at more like a fringe 3C. And then we got Victor Mancini, who you could kind of put in the Shakir Mukhamadullin slot of maybe Mukhamadulin's a little bit more developed than Mancini is, but Mancini can also jump into the league. Mancini's also tall like Mukhamadullin, so it feels like we did end up getting kind of that player anyway. But the reason I was saying San Jose Sharks instead of New Jersey Devils, Shakir Mukhamadullin was actually a part of the Timo Meier deal, which saw Timo Meier and a bunch of players that Scott Harrington's the only one I really recognize, and a 5th round pick go to the New Jersey Devils in exchange for Fabian Zunderland, Andreas Janssen, Shakir Mukhamadullin, Nikita Okechuk, sorry, it's very small, hard to read, a 2023 first, a 2024 first, and a 2024 7th. So now Mukhamadullin ends up playing for the San Jose Sharks instead of the New Jersey Devils. I think he only played in Utica, and then that's when he came and moved into like the Barracuda, and then moved up to the NHL to play with the San Jose Sharks. Now, in terms of Did I wish the Vancouver Canucks kept this pick? No. But now, up next, do I wish the Vancouver Canucks kept this pick? Yes. The Vancouver Canucks in the offseason, it was kind of right before the draft, traded Louis Eriksson, Anton Roussel, and Jay Beagle, and a 2021 first-round pick that was 9th overall, a second-round pick in 2022, and a 7th-round pick in 2023 in exchange for Connor Garland. That's a W. You know what? I'll take Connor Garland, right? That's a win we can get out of this trade. And then Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who we're paying currently almost $5 million to not play for our team. This was Jim Benning's last mistake that he made. And yeah, it did not pay good dividends for the Vancouver Canucks. And the Arizona Coyotes, now Utah Mammoth, selected Dylan Guenther 9th overall. He's a 22-year-old right wing. He's 6'1", 192 pounds. And he's played 3 seasons so far. The first season in 33 games played, he had 6 goals, 9 assists for 15 points. His second season, 45 games played, 18 goals, 17 assists for 35 points. That's where you started to really see like the breakout performance for him. And then this season was really like his breakout, playing 70 games, 27 goals, 33 assists for 60 points. That is better than Connor Garland at the moment, which is the only win we have from this trade left. He has a really good, strong, and accurate shot. He's a great playmaker, and he can read the ice really, really well. He's getting paid $7.142 million. That's the highest paid player out of all the picks, because this is really the last like big pick at the moment. You see potential contract up there as well for Lekkerimaki. This is my blank player sheet that I use for free agencies. So I just put not applicable there for them because Lekkerimaki, I probably could have done that, but it doesn't really have its place on this list. Now, the first pick that the Vancouver Canucks would end up holding is Jonathan Lekkerimaki. Almost 21. He turns 21 like pretty soon, so luckily I made this video now. Well, I can still say he's 20. 20-year-old right wing, 5'11", 172 pound. His ceiling, I would say like a second line sniper and a third line scorer really for his floor. I do think he ends up coming to the NHL. His skills are definitely his shot. I know I don't have skills on here. I'll try to talk about their skills. His skills is definitely his shot. And I really like his skating. The way he can find open ice offensively is really good. He could set himself up for that one-timer really, really well. A player comp would be Lucas Raymond. I think that's what Patrick Alvin said. Elias Pettersson has also been drawn to as well, like our Elias Pettersson. And I know we have both of them, but like our star Elias Pettersson. And there was another, David Pastrnak was one as well that was seen as a player comp. Just a really good scorer, and I can't wait for him to come up to the NHL. He looked really good in Abbey this past season. I think it was his first full year in Abbey. A 0 to 1 year ETA for the NHL. It could go to 2, and if it does go to 2, I'd be concerned. But I do think that if he does, he might end up playing this season, but if he doesn't, it'd probably be next season. And I really like that pick for Vancouver. I do. I think Lekkerimaki looks really, really good. Tom Wallander now is the next one. 20-year-old right shot defenseman. He's 6'1", 190 pounds. His ceiling, a top 2 defender. I don't think he reaches that. I think that's a very high ceiling, but I definitely do think that he has that ceiling. In total, I don't think that he reaches the top 2 defender. Now, the only reason I say top 2 defender is if he gets better than Filip Hronek ends up getting moved so Tom Wallander can stay. He kind of becomes our top 2 defender. This is based off of a Vancouver's depth chart a little bit more than what I think he'll be. But I think, if anything, he's going to be the second best right-handed defenseman on the team and probably our third best defenseman. He's a bottom 2 defender in terms of, like, floor. If anything, he flattens out at kind of like a good depth defenseman who will slot into those bottom pairs really nice or can just be your scratch guy. A player comp for him would be Charlie McAvoy. His skills, I did not really do any research on his skills. I apologize. But his player comp is Charlie McAvoy. We know what Charlie McAvoy is all about. Can be really good on the offensive side of the puck, but he is also very solid on the defensive side. I feel like Tom Wallander will definitely be like one of the most solid defenders that the Vancouver Canucks will have when he comes to the NHL. I give him a 1 to 2 year ETA for the NHL. I think he might spend this season with Abbotsford, and then might either like play really good that he comes up this season, or he plays in Abbotsford for 2 seasons if he struggles, and then comes up and his depth, and then or he plays in Abbotsford for this whole season. He comes up next year and immediately becomes a really good defender. I like this pick. Tom Hollander looks like an amazing pick, and I'm so happy we have him on the team. Speaking of people not on the team, though, the Vancouver Canucks, whilst on their miracle run, traded Andrei Kuzmenko, Hunter Brutsevitz, Yoni Yurmo, who just got put on waivers, a 2024 first round pick. I'm not sure if it was for a buyout, but I think it was. And a fourth round pick in 2024 that was conditional. So that first round pick in 2024 ended up becoming, I hate how that does that, Matvei Gradin, a 19-year-old right wing, 6'1", 190 pounds. I think his ceiling is a second line scorer, and I think his floor could probably end up being like a third line scorer, like his good floor. Like, there's always a shot they don't make the NHL, but like their good floor, third line scorer, just kind of that guy who can slot in the middle six. If you're a rebuilding team, he can play on that second line, but he's more of a third line guy, but he could put up some good points. And then the second line scorer, who I kind of put like a Besser, maybe like can play up on that first line if you have to, but he's really a second line guy. Comparables, Mike Hoffman, he's got a really good shot, really good on the power play. And NHL ETA, I give him 2 to 3 seasons. He's going to play with the Wranglers this upcoming season. I think it all hinges on how this season goes for him. And then if he does play good with the Wranglers, I'm not sure if it's with the Wranglers, that's just Elite Prospects has him with the Wranglers. If I'm wrong, and he goes back to the Q, which is I'm pretty sure he played this past season, then maybe this Q is a make for break season for him. But I feel like if he does come to Calgary and plays for the Wranglers, we will definitely see how he looks, and I might definitely see how he looks as well. We're going to some games in Abbotsford. I will definitely keep an eye on him if he's playing for the Wranglers. Now, the last but not least, the 2025 pick. This guy has just been made, so I don't really, can't really like say too much on how good the pick is, but by the looks of it, it looks like a good one. The Vancouver Canucks selected 15th overall, Braden Coots. He's an 18-year-old center, 6 foot, 185 pounds. And I think he can be a good 1B first line center as a ceiling, and I think second line center would be like his, like a 1B first line center to where he can play a more defensive first line center role, a second line center as like he'll fit that, and then I think a third line center, kind of like a Teddy Bluger but a little bit better. His player comp is Bo Horvat. He also says Braden Point. He likes to say his game is more like Braden Point, and I do like the sounds of that. Definitely, I think all Canucks fans like the sound of that. NHL ETA, I give it 2 to 3 seasons. I'd say he goes back to the Thunderbirds for 1 more year, and then if he's allowed to come in as a 19-year-old for Abby, I think the Canucks might shoot their shot at trying that, and then he might go back to the Thunderbirds for 1 more season if it doesn't really work out, and then goes to Abbotsford. Maybe you know what? Maybe I should have made it 3 to 4 seasons, but 2 to 3 seasons could be the case. So it'll be the third. Then the third season, maybe he jumps to the Vancouver. Depends how he looks at training camp this season. If he looks really good at training camp this season, then maybe he could make that 2 to 3 season jump. But maybe I should have made it 3 to 4. But that all hinges on this off season, and that is it. So let's go look and see which ones I'm happy with and which ones I am not happy with. Muck Hamadulin, I know we don't have him, and I am not upset at all, because we do have a bunch of really good pieces from the trades that we made for him, so I'm happy that we got what we got instead of having Muck Hamadulin at the moment. Dylan Gunther, I wish that we did Louis Eriksson, or I wish that we did like a second, a seventh, maybe one of those bad contracts, and another thing that, like, without the ninth, one of those bad contracts, a second and a seventh, and something else, maybe like a third or another second, I don't know. Just try to get Garland instead of OEL, and we probably wouldn't have to give up that ninth overall pick. and we'd still have Dylan Gunther and Connor Garland, and this team would look way better. Jonathan Lekkerimaki, I really like this pick. He's going to end up really good. It's his size that's concerning me a little bit, but I think he'll definitely learn to play a smaller role, especially with a guy like Connor Garland on the team, and they really have to take advantage of it. I know he's taller than Connor Garland, but yeah, Tom Wallander looks really good. I'm really happy about it. Elias Lindholm trade, which would be Matt Van Greneen. I wish that we had Lindholm for longer. I know, hindsight 2020, Lindholm's contract does not look very good at the moment, but I don't know. I don't really think that we're hurt too bad without Matt Van Greneen and Braden Coots. I'm so happy. I really like Braden Coots. You know what? I think that probably better than the pick that I wanted, which was Rechny after the draft. Looking at it, I definitely do think that I prefer Coots over Rechny. So that has been it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos up here. The video on your right is the video from Monday's the Demko video. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. It is awesome. I promise you it's awesome. I really like it. This video is the video from Wednesday. I did not end up doing a franchise mode video this week, or last week. I will do it this week though. Subscribes are right underneath. I'll see you guys in the next one.